Hi, and welcome to my channel, Together We Can Ottawa, an initiative I did to reach out to the community and spread a positive outcome. We broadcast weekly sessions every Thursday on our social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Now, warm summer weather makes people across the country think about staying cool. Every year, they go to pools, they go to natural bodies of water across the province to get wet and beat the heat. Unfortunately, that also means that every year we might see some drowning deaths. This week, three tragedies here in Ottawa, all drowning in the region, a reminder of the dangers of open water and to be safe when heading out. In this session, we will be talking about water safety tips from the National Drowning Prevention Week. And tonight we are joined by Chris Wagg from Ottawa Drowning Prevention Coalition. Good evening, Chris. Thank you for being our guest tonight.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
So National Drowning Prevention Week takes place July 19 to 25 every year. So it's a time to do a positive effort and impact to spread awareness to individuals and families about water safety. So Chris, tell us more about LifeSaving Society and the Ottawa Drowning Prevention Coalition.
So the LifeSaving Society it's over 100 years old, and we come from the Royal LifeSaving Society. So it's found throughout the Commonwealth. So it was started by the Queen's people, and it was to certify lifeguards and get people safe around the water. So as it evolved here in Canada and in Ontario, we became simply the LifeSaving Society. So we're the governing body that certifies all the lifeguards across Canada. And we've branched off into teaching certification courses, safety management courses, and my involvement is with public education. So doing things like where we are tonight is talking to the public and answering questions and finding out how can we stay safe around the water. The Ottawa Drowning Prevention Coalition, I've been with them for over 10 years. And with the Ottawa Drowning Prevention Coalition, we have over 20 entities involved with that. So it's a great group. We're actually a model for across Canada, and I've presented this at world conferences, is our model here in Ottawa. We have all emergency services, so fire, paramedic, police. We have the National Capital Commission, Ottawa Public Health, City of Ottawa, LifeSaving Society, Red Cross, Dover Court, Boys and Girls Club. So we all come together to jointly try and prevent drownings in the Ottawa area.
Great to know that. It's really a coalition.
Yeah.
So what is that Drowning Prevention Week and why it's important?
So the LifeSaving Society has chosen the third week of July to be National Drowning Prevention Week. This is typically a very big holiday week. So kids are out of school for a while, maybe they go to camp for a couple of weeks, but this is a very high peak time for vacation. Maybe not so much for this summer because we're all in different times right now, but typically the third week of July is a big vacation time. And it was typically the hottest week of the summer. And it was when we see the peak of drownings throughout. So it's been different over the last few years because it's been very hot very early. Like summer for us came this year in May. It was hot right away. And, we sat around at the LifeSaving Society, different groups within the city of Ottawa, wondering if we don't get our pools open, if we don't get our beaches open, what is the drowning situation going to look like in Ottawa and across Canada if we don't have areas where there's supervision for people to go and get in the water?
Yeah. Okay. So drowning, is it a preventable thing?
It's 100% preventable. If you look at the different drownings that you see, it's either behaviors. So it's swimming after dark, swimming in unknown waters, swimming in rivers, swimming while impaired is another big. So if we look at our age groups where we have the largest number of drownings, so we're looking at 0 to 4. So those are the preschoolers where we always need to have a parent within arm's reach all the time. And we see a high number of drownings in bathtubs. We need backyard pools. So a lot of our focus with the coalition is backyard pool safety and what you need to do. LifeSaving Society has a checklist to go through to make sure your backyard pool is safe and secure for little ones. You know, if it's only just a turning your back for 1 minute, a door that's not closed, a little one can slip out the house and into the pool. Another big high risk category is those males age 18 to 24. So the risk takers, they're the ones that are, you know, perhaps having a few beer, heading out on the boat, doing some wakeboarding, not wearing a life jacket because it may not be the cool thing to do. And then another rise that we're seeing in the drowning is older adults. So those are adults that are swimming in condominium pools and they're suffering medical emergencies. So again, even though we start off as young people saying swim with a buddy, we're really trying to reinforce that with older adults as well, as just bring your partner, read a book on the side of the pool while you're doing your laps at the condo pool, so that if something does happen, that you've got somebody there to help. You can call 911.
So it's like we can say it's like everybody is at high risk if he's not, like, you know, doing the correct thing and the safety measures.
Yes, exactly. Anybody can have a medical emergency. You know, you hear all the time somebody having a seizure and they're by themselves. And so again, it's always having a plan in place. And with LifeSaving Society, we have so many water safety messages for all age groups to stay safe.
So now everybody's like heading out in boats. Do like, what do you have like safety messages for these people who are heading out on boats?
So again, having your pleasure craft operator card. So that's making sure that you understand the rules that happen out on the waterway, who has the right of way, all the different devices that you should have on board. So a sounding device, properly fitting life jackets for everyone. You have a row, an oar to row if you need to manually operate your boat if there's a failure in the engine. So there's all these different checklists that you should have on your boat. So that's really important. And then having a plan in place. So where are we going? Is it a busy, we saw a tragic drowning on the St. Lawrence a few years ago, and Kara, who is one of our partners with the coalition, her son tragically drowned on the St. Lawrence, very substantial size boat. So there's that confidence of, well, we don't need a life jacket. We're on a big boat. It's not like a small canoe. And they were out on the St. Lawrence and they caught a huge wave, and their boat, you know, it turned up, and the young boy was tossed out of the boat and without a life jacket on. And unfortunately, it took 64 days to recover his body. So she's really advocating for life jackets for everyone, whoever's going out on the water.
Sorry for her loss. And like now, most of the people are like doing the pools at backyard and these things. So what else also do you have, like safety tips for backyard pools?
Absolutely. A huge purchasing of backyard pools when people were wondering, okay, if we're going to be on isolation for the summer, we need to cool off. So again, when you're within the city of Ottawa, when you are purchasing a pool, you're required to have a permit. And Ottawa Bylaw Services is great. They do a huge education piece on what you require for your backyard pool. So as we're very familiar with, you have the back of your house, and then you have fencing in your backyard. And that's great because it protects people from outside of your family unit from coming into the yard and using your pool. But what we're recommending is a 4-sided fence. So when you come out in your backyard, there is a barrier right away to the pool, so kids can't get in there on their own. That your gate that comes into the backyard, it has to be self-closing. So as soon as you open it, if you let go of the gate door, it closes on its own and it latches right away. So it can't be left unattended. And then while you're not in the backyard using the pool, that you have a lock on that gate.
I'm muting my mic so we don't get an echo. So life jackets or personal floating devices.
Yes.
So it's, as you said, it's very important. So is there a difference between a life jacket and another?
Yeah, so there's 2 categories. One is called a life jacket. And so these are life jackets that you can put on. And what it will do, they tend to be a little bit more bulky, but they will turn you on your back and open your airway if you become unconscious. So great for open water boating, things like that. Then there's a PFD, which is a personal flotation device. They fall into a different category. They can be a little bit more lightweight. They can come in a lot of different forms. And they are also very well, but they're a little bit more comfortable, a little bit less bulky. But what you really want to make sure when you're purchasing any of these, especially if you're buying it at a pool store or a boating store, is that it's certified. Now you can look on the inside and it'll say Department of Transportation approved. And that means that they've put it on to a child that is within a certain weight category, a certain height category, and made sure that when they're in the water that it fits properly and it's not riding up and coming up over their neck, and that it is going to keep them afloat. So it's really important when you put on these PFDs or life jackets that you have it zippered up properly and all the buckles are done up properly, because that's how it's tested. So not just not doing up the zipper and putting on the buckles or vice versa. So it's really the properly fitted way that it's been tested, so that you need to do it up securely.
Okay, so as you said, for the fitting thing, and I saw some videos on social media and these things that like it should have a space, more space over the shoulders or something. So if like parents or like families want to reach out to a reliable resource, like where to go and find exactly an information about the fitting itself of these?
So I would say if you went to the Department of Transportation, so it's a Government of Canada website, they'll have it there as well. LifeSaving Society also has a store online, and there's videos all on the internet. But as long as you are looking at Department of Transportation or Coast Guard approved, again, there will be some flex in the shoulders, but you want to make sure that it doesn't go up above their ears. So looking at the height and the weight. And so kids, that's the problem, is kids grow every year. And so it's not really reliant that you use the one from last year, because it may still fit, but look at the weight that it is. So the child may have outweighed that life jacket. So here in Ottawa with the coalition, we had some plans this year that we wanted to look at using our Ottawa public libraries as a life jacket borrowing place, because they are already set up for checking people in, having a library card and letting them use a life jacket, and having like, you know, if you don't bring it back, how it fines, you know, I'm not really sure how it works, but we thought the libraries would be a fantastic place for families, because if you're just going to a friend's cottage for the weekend, or you're just going on a day trip with a canoe, that's a real expense, is picking those up, because they could be $40 each. And if you have a family with 3 kids, that's a lot of money. And so we didn't want it to be a barrier. We want everybody to get on the water. We want people to enjoy the water. We want people to be safe on the water. So we thought an opportunity to use the libraries to get us out. Yeah.
So like the So the swim skills, like if every like parent for their child, they want to enhance their swim skills, or like for adults. So what tips do you have for like enhancing swimming skills?
So even though we have lessons throughout the city of Ottawa, the city of Ottawa has a hand-in-hand program. So there's financial assistance. So we try and remove barriers of expense. Right now, lessons are a little bit reduced because of social distancing, and some people don't have the comfort level to come out. But we've got a great program set up with City of Ottawa where if you're a certain level and below, we ask that a parent or guardian get in the water. So what a great way for you to also learn how to, you know, teach water safety. So getting into swimming lessons is really important. And then we also say, you know, it's also a great idea to come like on a Friday evening. We have leisure swims for families, and come out and just play in the water and have fun in the water. So it's not always seen as like a teaching experience, that it's seen as like where the families come and play basketball. All City of Ottawa sites have life jackets that you can borrow, so that, you know, you can just get into the pool and have a good time. So a nice balance of learning environment and then just playing environment.
Yeah, exactly. So like we hear a lot of slogans going on, like swim to survive. So what these things means, like, or what are the slogans for?
Okay, so the Swim to Survive program was started by a mom who also lost her child tragically to drowning. And she thought, how is this happening in Canada, where we live in such a developed country, that we have people that still don't know how to swim, and yet we're surrounded by water? So her initiative, in conjunction with the LifeSaving Society, developed a program called Swim to Survive. So most of that program is taught through the schools and to grade 3 students. So it's really it's not swimming lessons, it's a swimming awareness program. So your school would come to a City of Ottawa pool and you would get 3 1-hour lessons. And the idea is that what we're teaching is that you roll into the water off of the pool's edge. So that that's a disorienting, what happens, because most drownings are people who are not intending to go in the water. So it's an accidental fall off of a dock or off the side of a boat. So that accidental fall, and then you reorientate yourself, you swim 50 meters, and then you tread water for 1 minute. So that's a typical falling out of a boat, swimming back to shore, treading water till somebody can come and help you. So what that does for the kids is it teaches them what they can and cannot do. So it'll teach them, I need to stay away from the edge of the dock. I need to be extra careful. And when we send the certificate home to the parents, it says, your child is not ready to be around the water and you need to register for swimming lessons. So often the facility that's doing the teaching will send home a program and say, these are the times for swimming lessons.
So I think also it more eases the phobia of water, for the kids from young ages even.
Yeah, I've seen such a variety of kids coming through our programs over the years, and some of these kids are brand new to Canada and they just look down at the pool and they're like, I'm not going in. But after the 3 weeks, they're jumping in, even if they're wearing a life jacket, and they're really enjoying the water. And now this is our opportunity to say, okay, Mom, Dad, it's time to get them into lessons so that they can swim on their own.
Okay, nice to know that. So as you said earlier, about the swimming classes. So swimming classes is available on the City of Ottawa website.
Yeah.
So whoever wants to enroll themselves or their kids, the swimming is already on the City of Ottawa activities, I think, website.
Yeah.
So yeah, for it's a general thing. If we wanna share some tips with the community, what do you like to share with them?
That swimming is, it's a lifelong skill. I've had different parents say, oh, well, we only do swimming in the summer. We do hockey in the winter. Well, that's fantastic. Have well-rounded sports, but swimming is a life-saving skill. So it's really important to get your kids to the pool. There's pools all across the city, wide variety of lessons. We have hand-in-hand programs that make it, the financial barrier reduced as well. The city just opened up the program to say, if you show proof that you're receiving CERB, that, we take that as need for financial assistance and we get you into the program. And you can even use your assistance for drop-in programs. So if you don't want to commit to a series of lessons, because this is what we're doing right now at work, is we're looking at, okay, so parents, if they're going to have to go back to school, weekday lessons, which is a big program for us, may not be the best opportunity. Because if you're a parent, you've got a child going on the school bus, returning to full day of school bus home, maybe packing up and coming to the pool after school might be just a bit much. So we're really focusing on weekend lessons, but we'll still offer stuff during the week. But really, if you can't commit to that in the fall, because there'll be a lot of adaptation for everybody getting back to school, that you can use that hand-in-hand program for drop-ins. And we have a great swim at my facility on Friday night. And there's a group of families that come every Friday night at 5 o'clock, and they come in and they go for a swim, go home, have supper, and tuck everybody in. So it's so important, and it's so much fun. It's so much fun to be swimming. Oh, sorry, you're on mute, Tarek.
Sorry, I had some questions came to the live session while we are talking.
Sure.
So if you want to answer, so the question was about drowning. Is it the question says, okay, it's about drowning. Is it a silent thing or it's like the movies thing?
Exactly. Everybody thinks that, oh, I'm just going to turn and finish the barbecue, or I'm going to take care of everything. Swimming, normally it's when a child or an adult, somebody who isn't comfortable swimming, is just going to take in some water right away. Okay. And they inhale the water, and then right away they're starting to choke, and you don't hear anything. And the swimmer will just silently slip below the surface. And lifeguards are highly trained to be always scanning, and what they're looking at is people's facial expressions. And that's why lifeguards may look like they're just looking at the water, but they're always scanning people's eyes, looking for people who might be entering into distress. So really important that's why it's 100% within arm's reach and eyes on the kids.
Nice to know that. A question came about the water quality. So is there like a testing going on for water quality, especially for the kids? She's worried about like the pools for the kids and these things.
Yeah. So, for example, all of the indoor pools for City of Ottawa, they're all controlled by a computer. So if the bather load goes from 10 people to 200 people, the computer is reading the chemical level, and it never goes below what we call 2.0. The recommended level of chlorine is a minimum of 1.0. And we're at 2.0, which is well within the safety. I think it can go up to 5 at the indoor pools. So 2.0, very comfortable. It kills all bacteria. Our water is all, and this is Ontario regulations, our pool water is circulated 6 times a day and put through what we call a UV, an ultraviolet system. So the water goes through a UV system, kills any kind of germs, bacteria. It's filtered, chlorinated, and put back in the pool. So more than safe. And as well, the outdoor wading pools, the ones that are fill and drain every day, the smaller pools for preschoolers, their levels are kept at 5. So, and we test every 2 hours.
So it's like everything is being controlled and the quality measures are being done.
Yeah.
So also I had a question about COVID. Is it like spreading in water? I think this is like, it's out of our topic because like every day we have researchers like, and no confirmation about anything, but at least there is a quality testing being done in waters.
So it's found that we've been assured by the LifeSaving Society that COVID isn't transferred through chlorinated water. But what we're doing is we're reducing the traffic through our buildings. So normally we would have a swim from 1 to 4 on a Saturday afternoon. Now you have to book in for 1 hour. And then there's a 15-minute break where the lifeguards go around and wash, disinfect all the hand railings, touch points. We have showers blocked off and bathrooms blocked off for social distancing. And then that 15 minutes allows for those swimmers to get out and the new swimmers to get in.
And we had a small suggestion from Dr. Laila. She suggested like if she keeps a floating noodle in her pool in case someone needs it. So it's a nice thing also to keep in mind.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point I was going to bring up when we talked about the backyard pool. So always having a reaching pole, floating devices, things, because somebody who's drowning can become extremely strong. So you want to have something to put between you and somebody who's in distress. So those pool noodles for the backyard are a great idea. As well, you want to have your phone close by to call 911, but not have your phone to distract you.
Yeah, so this is a message also we need to, like, if you are near the kids swimming,
your focus, undivided attention.
Yeah, don't look at your phone. Forget your phone for the time being.
Yeah.
So I think these are most of the questions that we are getting. So it was about water safety things. So Chris, do you have some like advice you want to add, or like something you want to address we forgot to address, or like we didn't address?
I think the most important part was, building that foundation for your young kids as strong swimmers. And then as well for adults, it's really important, and a life skill for everybody is to know how to do CPR. So taking a first aid course is really important, so that if somebody is in distress and they have gone, without breathing, that you know how to do resuscitation techniques.
That's very important also. I think these are the questions for now. So thank you very much, Chris, for a great session. It was a pleasure having you with us as a guest tonight. Yeah,
so if you want to put my email address, like we have a simple address for the coalition. It's drowningprevention@gmail.com.
Okay.
And if people, wake up tomorrow and think, oh, I have a really good question, 100%. Drop an email, and we'd be more than happy to answer any questions.
I'll be adding it in the comments. So who's watching our broadcast, like you can have a look at the comments. You will find the link there.
Sure.
And or like you can Google as Chris Wagg name, Ottawa Drowning Prevention Coalition, and you will find the information there.
Yeah, my email address is somewhere on. If you Google Chris Wagg, all my information comes up, my phone number, everything. Yeah. So, more than happy, anytime, reach out. More than happy to, if there's more questions, feel free to reach out. I'm more than happy to answer.
We had too much information, which is like very useful for parents, for families, for kids also. So thank you very much again, and I wish you a good night.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Have a nice one.
Bye.
Bye. So Ontario, most of the recent data shows that 34% of who drowned were weak or non-swimmers. So learning to swim is a life skill and acts as an immunization against drowning. So anyone can learn to swim. It's never been late. It's never too late to learn swim. Be a lifesaver and take charge of your own destiny and enjoy the water safely. So as always, a gentle reminder, continue physical distancing, and just heads up that effective July 7, masks are mandatory here in outdoor public spaces in Ottawa. So wear a face covering if physical distancing is a challenge. Wash your hands frequently. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. So thank you, Ottawa, for watching tonight's session. Stay tuned for upcoming sessions and follow us on our social media. Social media platforms: Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. If you liked our broadcast, please like it, follow it, and share it. And stay safe, stay healthy, and good night.